Hello everyone, it's Mark here from the Purple Penny. Welcome to our weekly coin news video. The Purple Penny is a coin shop in Mawson Lakes in South Australia, which is to the north of Adelaide. We've had these videos live every week now for about almost coming up to 2 years. Look, we've just got the news slide up. I'll just get rid of that. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, Catherine, who's my wife and business partner, has decided to join us today. So here we are sitting all snuggly up together because this is the first time we've had two people in front of this camera. How are you today, Catherine?
Good, thank you. I'm buzzing.
You're buzzing, yes. We're all buzzing with anticipation for this Thursday, of course, which is the Royal Australian Mint release for this month, and the key release is the 200 years since the release of the honeybee coin, which is being released in what forms? The roll, the 25 coin roll, which is only available through mint dealers, and the C Mint Mark coin. We're expecting a big day, aren't we, Kath?
We are. You'll be pleasantly surprised. The coin in hand looks much better than the provided images we've seen so far. So lovely looking coin.
Yeah, so it is. I'm not a $2 coin collector, but I've got to say that it does look very good. Actually, it looks very good. Right, so we'll just say a few hellos to everyone here. Who have we got watching today? Oh gosh, there's a lot of comments already today. G'day Paul, Damien, Glennis, Mike, Greg, Gary, John, Cam. It's good to see you watching live today, Cam. Clay, Gwen, Alex, Greg. Hello to Greg and all the Gravy Train people. Glenn, Patrick, Warren, Andy, and everyone else there is saying hello to Catherine. Oh, Sarah, hello, how are you? Robert and Wendy, another Wendy and Graham. So thanks for watching.
Hi everyone.
Right. Anything happened in the shop this week that's worth sharing, Catherine?
I don't know.
No, it's been slow this year. I think everyone's getting back to their real lives and getting back to work, and perhaps doesn't have as much time to come into the coin shop here. Which is fine for us because we're catching up on a whole bunch of work, and the mint release this month is going to be a big one. So we'll just wave goodbye to Catherine temporarily while I put the news slide over her face. There we go. So this week we've got the RAM release coming up on Thursday. We will have some product available on our website. There'll be rolls and mint marks and the Royal Agricultural Society coloured dollars. In coin news around the world this week, there was a coin metal detected in England, which I've never heard of this denomination before. It's a Thrimsa, which is a 1.6 gram gold coin. It's also known as a gold shilling. And we'll just bring up a picture of it here. So it's actually a coin that was struck in the Dark Ages, and it imitated a Roman coin from about 300 years earlier. There's only 9 of these known, and Dix Noonan Webb sold this for about $34,000. The gentleman that found it shared in half of those proceeds, so he was very pleased with that. And the news story behind it, he'd gone over ground that he'd been over many times before, but had bought a new flash metal detector from Minelab, and Minelab are a company here in South Australia, and he detected this coin. So he was delighted, as you could imagine. Right, so we'll just jump back to the news here. The Roxburys held an auction this week, or last week I should say, up in Queensland. And Roxburys, those of you who don't know, are owned by Imperial Coins. Imperial Coins up in Queensland. There were some interesting lots in the auction this month, and there were 3 things that popped out at me as remarkable results because of the grades that they hold from PCGS. So there was a 1942 Denver threepence in MS66, which was the single highest graded coin. Now, typically an uncirculated 1942D threepence would sell for perhaps $20 or $30. This one being the single highest graded at PCGS MS66 reached $4,350 plus buyer's commission, so add 22% on top of that. A 1960Y penny in MS64 red, and there was 10 graded in MS64 red. Equal finest, that reached $500. Now, if we had a nice uncirculated 1960Y penny in this shop, I doubt whether you'd pay more than $20 for it. And the last one here was a 1941 florin in MS65, which is one of two at that grade, and it sold for $4,650 plus buyer's commission. So you're looking at almost $6,000 for that coin. And those people are buying those coins to play the PCGS Registry set game, and that's almost like a league table where collectors put together complete sets in the highest grades possible. So, have you got anything to add to that?
Just remembering that the red designation is the higher sort one, so people with the RD graded copper get more points for having the red versus the red brown, and even then the brown is further. That's
right. So the league table system has a scoring system based on the grade and then colour designation, and then for silver coins there's bonus points for cameo and deep cameo. So yeah, it's not quite as simple as just having the highest number. And those of you who collect copper or bronze coins, red coins, and they're coins that the metal looks the same as the day it was made, it hasn't toned, they are always the more desirable coins. Now, the last item on the news here was $2 Bullseye errors, and Catherine probably just like to explain what a Bullseye error is, and I'll put up a picture while she's talking.
So we're just talking mostly $2 coins where the colour was mistakenly or accidentally applied to the Queen's head side of the coin instead of the reverse, and also donation dollars now. There's been a couple of those found.
Right, so there you can see a Bullseye 2019 Police Remembrance coin. Now, the reason that we're talking about this, and this is probably something I guess that we've been keeping under our hat for a little while, was several weeks ago we had a collector up in Queensland contact us, and he had 6 Bullseye era $2 coins and donation dollars, and they all had the paint on the wrong side on the obverse, but they also had the paint on the reverse as well. Now, you can think of a situation where that could happen in the mint, where an already painted coin ends up in the painting tray again, but you can't imagine that it's going to get put in upside down as well. And closer examination of those coins suggested to us that they were fabricated, that someone has worked out how to remove the paint from the reverse of these coins and reapply it to the obverse side, which for collectors of the coins is a pretty scary set of circumstances, because they are worth 4 figures, low, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. This gentleman had purchased them in good faith, and we were of the belief that they were all fabricated. Now, we probably don't want to share what made us think they were fabricated, because that will just result in whoever's doing this producing a better product. But do note with interest that some Facebook groups have now stopped the sale of Bullseye paint error coins unless they're graded by PCGS. So those of you who are out there and thinking about buying a Bullseye paint error coin, please do be careful, because there are fabricated coins around.
And again, we only saw images of these coins. We didn't have them in hand.
Yeah.
Which again is something that you want to consider with everything when you're buying.
It's seeing things in hand is a constant problem for us when people want to sell us things. We can only give so much information based on phone photos or scanned photos. And you know, if you are considering buying a valuable coin, I would very rarely ever buy one just on the basis of photos. So, right, do we have any comments here? Now, there's a couple of people asking about what the B coin looks like. Now, it's interesting this month because the Mint actually announced the release of the B coin on the
World Money Fair.
World Money Fair website. So if you head over to the World Money Fair website, which is held in Berlin, there is a picture of the honeybee coin there, which you can see, rather than us show it, because I don't know where we stand with showing those things at the moment.
It's embargoed.
It's embargoed, even though they've already shown the image. It is embargoed. So Alyssa and Glennis, just duck over to the World Money Expo website and have a look at the picture there. Hello Petra and Jed and Matt, how are you going? Right, so topic of the week this week is errors that aren't errors. Now, we get many of the same questions here in the shop, whether it be via email or phone or in person, with people bringing in coins that they think are errors or taking photos of coins that they think are errors. And there are probably half a dozen different errors in air quotes that aren't errors. And I thought this week and next week I could just run through 6 of those. So today we're just going to run through 3 of them. And what's the colloquial term that we call these things, Kath?
Shed jobs.
Shed jobs, yeah.
I guess if I could just butt in there just for a moment, is that we're always happy to talk to people and we're always happy to have a look at the coin. If those that don't know a lot about error coins have just found an interesting coin and just want to know if it is an error or not, but sometimes it's the way people ask the question with the expectation that there's value there before they even know if it's a genuine error. So you need to determine whether it's real or not before you even go, and start spending the cash. Yeah,
that's right. We're never dismissive of anyone who brings coins in here. We're always pleased when someone brings a coin in here to show us, because it's a hobby that we enjoy sharing. And it's the same with, just damaged coins. We're always happy to explain how they happen. And I guess anyone who finds an interesting coin in their change, I guess you just got to keep your hopes under control before you show it to someone who knows what they want, what they know. Now, the first one here is a coloured $2 coin with no colour on it. And this is a picture here of a purple coronation on the left, and on the right is the paint that I took off of that coin.
Oh, I thought that was me. That was a very long time ago.
Yeah, it was. This was back before purple coronations were desirable, and I just one day I thought, well, I wonder if acetone takes the colour off of these coins, and I popped this one into acetone, and the colour just floated right off.
Floated away.
Yeah, that's right. Now, back in the day, sorry, I've just brought up the wrong thing there. Back in the day, coloured coins with no colour on them were being sold as errors, and I guess if you're buying a loose $2 coin or a loose donation dollar with no colour on it, do be aware that the colour can be removed very easily. There is one exception to buying a coin with no colour on it, and that would be when it is in a security bag, and that has happened a few times. I've seen that happen a few times. So I think that if it is in a security bag, that's some assurance that it was minted without colour being applied to it. As long as it's in a bag with other coins at the same type, and the same condition, because of course security bags don't always contain uncirculated coins. So just do be careful when you're buying coins with coloured coins that have no colour on them, because it is reasonably easy to take the colour off of them. Now the next one here is, this is a very common question that we get asked, and you won't have to hang around on coin groups on social media for very long. We see a coin here where the portrait of the Queen is quite flat, and there's some fairly obvious vertical lines and diagonal lines and things like that on there. Now, if you think about the mechanics of how this could happen during the coin minting process, it is possible for die features to fill up with grease or foreign material and for the portrait to be flat like that. But very unusual and certainly would not result in any sort of polishing lines or grinder lines or things like that on it. Now, it is fairly obvious in this case that this has been done probably on a bench grinder or a sander or something like that. And I guess if you are interested in error coins, then it is very worthwhile learning the basics of the coin manufacturing process and just getting it straight in your own head how a coin that you've got in front of you, how that could be made. And in this case, this $2 coin, I believe it was a $2 coin, it's pretty obvious that this cannot be part of the coin manufacturing process. It is just damaged. It is just damaged. Got anything to add to that, Kath? No, nothing to add to that. Right, last shed job of the week, and there will be some more of these next week. Now, this is one that we see really often. It is a copper nickel coin, and it has a bit of a strange epoxy looking surface, and the other side looks the same. Sometimes you see them with it just affected on one side. It is peculiar to copper nickel coins, and this again, it can't be part of the manufacturing process. You can't end up with a coin that has dimples like this all over it. And the best theory is that coins of this type have been exposed to acid. And the usual protestation that we get from people is that, well, you know, if it was exposed to acid, it would be eroded the same all over the coin, not have this odd dimpled appearance. I've got a bit of a background in engineering, and the microstructure of metal changes based on how it deforms, and how that microstructure affects the coin when it's affected by acid can result in this sort of things. The acid tends to attack grain boundaries and stuff like that. And you don't need to hunt around too long on the internet to find this sort of supposed error on international coins as well. I actually saw a US nickel this morning that looked almost identical. So these are acid treated coins. They are reasonably common, and if you are here in Adelaide and you want to pop into the shop when we're open, we're actually putting together a little collection of sort of errors like this, errors that aren't errors. We have them all in a bag on the front counter, and we can show examples of these to anyone who's interested in looking at them.
So if you're not an engineer like Mark, and my way of thinking about this 50-cent piece here is that it was sitting in a tradie's toolbox, in a mechanic's toolbox, in someone's toolbox there. It was sitting there. It was sitting in a bit of acid, or, you know, all the things that a tradie might use in some sort of workshop. And, you know, it was his change from his 2 meat pies that he had for morning tea, and it just floated around the toolbox for a while, and this was the result. Yeah.
I think over the years, Catherine and I have been surprised by the number of people we come across that have got some sort of hardcore acid actually in their tool shed. It's not something that we've ever had, but it's amazing how many people have got nitric acid or hydrochloric acid squirreled away somewhere for stripping paint and stuff like that. So it does happen. It does happen. Right, that was it for this week. Let's just have a look if there's any comments here. Greg says, thanks for confirming the embargo. A lot don't believe it. Look, Greg, I probably wouldn't have been fussed about us sharing a picture of the BC mint mark coin, given that the mint had already sort of shown it to the world, but just to be careful, we've chosen not to. It's probably not something worth getting too upset about this month, because the mint, as I said, did show it to everyone already. Jason asks if it's a bead blaster. I don't believe so, Jason. And Patrick is saying that the price of petrol is affecting the quantity of trips to Adelaide and therefore my purchases of coins. Is anyone else being affected by this? Well, that's an interesting question. We certainly don't drive our car that takes premium petrol very much at the moment, so it's certainly affecting how much we use that car. And you know, trips, you know, a 4-hour trip in the car these days, it could end up costing you $100. So it's there's no doubt that travelling does have a real cost, and I know that Patrick lives quite away from our shop, and you know, a simple trip to the coin shop might cost you $50 these days, and I guess that's a cost that not everyone wants to bear.
Just pop in next time you're coming in to
Yeah.
Adelaide, or you've got some other
Yep.
some other activities in Adelaide that you've got to do. That we have an eye specialist just up the road, and so many people wander in when they're waiting for their partner,
Yes.
or they've seen us when they came to the eye specialist.
Yes. We had someone on Saturday bring some lovely coins in to show us, because he was popping in to see his accountant who's 2 doors up, and he thought he'd come and show us some coins at the same time. Matt's saying, don't you mean the tradies breakfast, a pie and an iced coffee? I think we might try leaving at a 50-cent piece and some iced coffee for 6 months and see what it comes out like. What's Mike saying? Mike Ellery says that brickies use acid for cleaning brickwork. Okay, that's interesting. Well, there you go. There's another reason why acid might be around.
I think you might have hydrochloric acid around if you have a swimming pool too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. All right. That's it for this week. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, Catherine, for joining in. I was surprised when she offered to join in before. If you are happy to see her back, please say so in the comments, and no doubt I'll rope her into coming in again sometime. Thanks everyone for watching. Wrong hand. Thanks everyone for watching. Please, safe collecting. Stay safe, stay happy, and we will be back at the same time next week. Bye everyone.